welcome back to Below Decks. As you can see, we're in a little bit of a different setting. Those of you who've seen the cargo hold episodes might recognize our set, mostly because we wanted to do this here. I wasn't going to haul all this over to the other set, so I wanted to keep it here. As you all know, I'm Tom.
I'm Joe.
And we're the River Pirates, and we're going to bring you a great episode right now today on liqueurs. Now, liqueur and liquor are two different things. A lot of people don't realize that. They think it's the same thing.
What's the difference?
A liquor is a spirit, bourbon, or whiskey, vodka, rum.
Which is grain distilled, right?
It's distilled grains or fruits. I mean, brandies are technically, they're distilled wines, so they're also a liquor. Now, a liqueur is sweetened.
Okay.
And it's much lower proof. Like almost all the liqueurs you're going to find out there are in that 30 to 35% range. They're not very high. And and people are like, oh, I get drunk on this. Like, well, you do, but it's not the same. And so we're going to teach you a little bit about liqueurs that you can have in your bar, what you should have. You can be insane like me and have just a stupid amount of liqueurs to make just about anything in the world. I mean, you should see the back bar back here. It's insane.
It's got everything. More than a bar.
But
mine just
these, I'm going to walk you through like the 10 I feel that every bar should have. And there's really nothing you can't make if you've got something along these lines of these liqueurs.
Okay.
The first one I would go through. Everyone should have an orange liqueur of some kind. I've got Cointreau. I've got triple sec. I've even got some I make on my own. But you need a good orange liqueur so you can make your margaritas. You can make there's several whiskey cocktails that actually call for them. So just have yourself a good quality orange liqueur. You don't have to break the bank on any of these. I like triple sec Grandma and Grand Marnier. It's a good orange liqueur, but it's made with brandy instead of neutral spirits. So it's got a little bit different, more fruity taste to it. It's your personal preference on what you want on that. Just make sure you have a good quality one.
You said brandy versus neutral. How many different bases are there for liqueur?
Oh, anything. You can make a liqueur with any base.
Any base.
Like you can. You've got some liqueurs that are made with moonshine or white dog. So get in there. You got some that are made with rums. When I make mine, I like to use like a vodka neutral spirit. Gins already have botanicals in them, and they've already got the flavors. You don't want to mess with that. I don't like using unaged whiskey in them because they're usually a corn-based whiskey that you're getting with that, and you're getting that sweetness of the corn move through. It's already going to be sweet because you got to add sugar to it when you make the liqueur.
Okay.
So I like to use like a vodka. I'm not going and buying the $5 bottle of vodka, but I'm not breaking the bank on it either.
Correct.
And that I'm going to use it. Yes, I'm going to mix it up. It's not going to be anything that has to be. You're going to get your flavor from what you're putting in it.
Okay.
So it's good. It's just something that's not going to kill you.
Like a cocktail.
Yes. What you want there. Yeah, you don't want to use the super high-end booze in the cocktail. You don't want to use super high-end booze.
Yeah, you don't want to trash your cocktail.
Right.
Either.
So get that. Now, I will use rums on occasion.
Okay.
If it calls for it.
If you get super sweet.
Yes, if you need something that's already sweet. If I'm making something with a tropical fruit, like a mango, pineapples, coconuts, I'll use rums. Just simply because
sugar-based.
Yeah, it works with it. So it works really well with it. So the next one, everyone needs to have an aperitivo. And that of some kind. The Italian bitter, they're like Italian bitter liqueurs. And that they're made with several different botanicals that go in. It's almost, to me, it's like almost like having a gin that they sweeten up really good. There's several kinds. This is Aperol. Everyone's heard of Aperol spritz, things like that. I also keep Campari on my back bar because they are used for different things. But
are they similar?
They're very similar.
Okay.
They're very similar in their taste. To me, Aperol's a little sweeter than Campari. Campari's got more of a bitter taste to it.
So what kind of a cocktail would you go? I gotta have Campari. Nope, I gotta have.
Well, the Aperol, I go with the Aperol. Like the Aperol spritz is their big one, and then Aperol can be made on its own. And you can replace Campari in any cocktail that you have with it, just simply if you want it a little bit sweeter. Your classic Negroni. It's got Campari and gin and vermouth. I would sometimes put Aperol in it, and especially if the gin you're using is very citrus forward. And that I put Aperol in it, and it just changes the flavor a little bit.
Okay.
So that technically it then becomes a Negroni Sbagliato because you're breaking it by putting in a different ingredient, but to me, it's still Negroni because it's still an aperitivo. right. Everyone needs some kind of coffee liqueur on their back bar because you need these for the White Russians, Black Russians. You can put it in your coffee. And you do not use a coffee liqueur to make Irish coffee because the coffee itself is the coffee, and then you got the whiskey and your cream.
Yeah.
And that. So, but always have some kind of coffee liqueur on your back bar. I make it too. I've had this bottle of Kahlua for many, many years because I just don't use it that much. But I also tend to make coffee liqueurs in different flavors and that to go with what I need. But there's several brands out. There's Kahlua, Tia Maria, several of them that you can find just about anywhere. Find the one you like the taste of and go with that. Something sweeter along those lines. All right. Then you're getting into more of your botanical liqueurs. Those are the ones that every bar should have that are like the name brands that they're harder to make. You're always going to want to have a chocolate liqueur. This is my homemade creme de cacao. It is not hard to make. If you guys want to subscribe to our channel and go to the Facebook page, that recipe for this might just show up on there. And it's super easy to make. It's not hard, and you can smell it right here. I mean, it smells like.
What's the base on it?
Coke. It's vodka.
Chocolate.
It's the base on it is vodka, and it smells like chocolate, and it's a little bit sweeter. This is another one of the name brand ones you do need. This is Benedictine. This is an absolute must for anyone who's a New Orleans weirdo like I am that likes New Orleans cocktails because the classic Vieux Carré cocktail is made with Benedictine.
Okay.
And that you have to have it. There's a few other cocktails out there that you have to have Benedictine in.
What's it similar to?
It's a type of brandy.
Okay.
It's a sweetened brandy with some other botanicals added into it. They also have a thing called B&B, which is a blend 50-50 Benedictine and brandy. Okay. And that you can buy. It looks very similar in the same bottle. I got a little bit of it back here. But you always want to have a little bit of Benedictine on your shelf. All right. Also, now we're going to get into the flower petal ones that you got to have. All right. Get through there. All right. You got to have some kind of flower-based liqueur. This is creme de rosé. I make this here at home, and it's a rose petaled flavored liqueur, and that I got the inspiration from because you got creme de violette, which is violet flowers, and you also have like creme de cassis, which is like a raspberry, and that fruit in there. But I made this because I have 2 daughters and a wife, and Valentine's Day happened, and I was staring at the rose petals on the kitchen counter, and I'm like, I can do something with that, and I made a rose flavored liqueur.
And what kind of a cocktail would you put that in?
Well, this one I only use this so far in my own creation. It's the one I call the Tokyo Rose. Yeah. And it's Japanese whiskey with that, a little bit of rose water, some orange bitters, and then just a touch of grenadine. Okay. And then I garnish it with a cherry, and that because of cherry blossoms. Yeah. And then I actually I went to a distillery that you can find the 4 of them around, and I have an ice cube mold that's shaped like a rose, and I drop that in there. Yeah. And it works out really well. That elderflower liqueur. And this is used in many cocktails, especially a lot of French cocktails. There's a big name brand that has a soccer team named after it over in Paris. You don't have to break the bank and spend it. It is good, but you can get a quality elderflower liqueur for about half the price. And that's something that you're going to want to have on hand. Yeah. And creme de menthe. This is one that is you either love it or hate it, but it is needed in some cocktails. Yeah. And there's occasionally I'll get lazy, and especially in the winter when I don't have fresh mint growing, I'll drop a little bit of this on top of my mojito. That's fine. That just to get that mint scent,
to get the mint in there.
Yeah, just to get it in there. Limoncello. I make it myself. Here you can buy it. It's not expensive, but I don't like the syrupy artificial color of the
this isn't syrupy at all. I can tell
actually, when you go and buy it at the store, it's that almost banana color. Yeah, and I don't like that. I like this because I can control the amount of citrus and the lemon rind and the color, and it'll vanish into a cocktail a little bit better. Okay, and when it's there, so you can make some lighter stuff. And the last one, everyone needs to have some kind of cherry liqueur. on their back bar. This is maraschino cherry liqueur. It goes into it's a lot of whiskey cocktails call for this.
Okay.
And that so you'll want to have this on hand to just to make those. There's also some other ones you can have. This is an Italian maraschino.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a German one called Kirschwasser, that which means cherry water.
Yeah.
And that it's just as good. It's a little less sweet.
Okay.
That the Italians make theirs a little sweeter than the Germans do. You can also make it yourself, although I would recommend not trying that unless you really know what you're doing, because cherry liqueur, not everybody knows that cyanide is made from cherry pits.
Oh.
And if you did not properly clean your cherries and have the pits in there, you can poison people. So I would just trust the companies, make it that they made it right. Just buy it. Don't attempt to make it on your own unless you really know what you're doing and you've been through it.
That way your family can see somebody rich instead of me.
Yeah. So get that. Now I do make my cherry brandy when I make my cocktail cherries, but I personally clean every one of those pits out. I make sure they're all gone. I wash them down. I make sure it's all done right. So those are the 10 essential liqueurs I feel you need to have on your back bar, and that's to be able to make just about any cocktail in the world with those. That because some of them can be substituted for other things, some of them can't be. So what we're going to do when we come back, that I am actually going to walk Joe through making a liqueur, and it's one that I've wanted to have on my bar for a little while. I've had it in the past. I just am completely out. So what I want to do is I want to get everything together. We're going to come back, and I'm going to walk Joe through making a hibiscus liqueur. Okay, we're back now, and what I promise you guys is we're going to walk you through making a liqueur, and I'm going to walk Joe through it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a hibiscus liqueur. I make a hibiscus syrup that I always keep on the back bar.
Excellent.
It's really good. But what I want to do is I'm going to make a liqueur out of it. We're going to make this, set it aside, and then when it's ready, we'll film it again when we're putting it back in the bottle, and you can see what we've got on that. So what you're going to need to make any liqueur, you're going to need your neutral spirit, minimum of 100 proof.
Okay.
And that, so you're going to want to get the really good higher proof vodkas to do this. You don't want to get something that's down around 80, just simply because you're not going to extract enough flavor from your ingredients. And that you need that higher alcohol content.
Right. So the alcohol's
it acts as a solvent.
Down these chemical compounds.
Yes, you need that to make that solvent out of it, and you're good there. So this is a super simple recipe. You're going to need a clean mason jar. This one you can use wide mouth, you can use narrow mouth. Really doesn't matter. This is a quart size. If you want to make less, you can take it down. If you want to go higher, you can. It's not a big deal. All right. Then what we're going to do with this one is we're going to make hibiscus. That what you got? You got hibiscus flowers right here. I grow them myself here. Dry them out. They're set them to the side. Some orange peel, and then you're going to want some kind of spice. I've got some black pepper down in here. You can use other things. Allspice would work really well because the hibiscus works really well with Jamaican and Caribbean stuff, and the allspice is in a lot of that food. I just don't want it to overpower on that, and I want this to be a little bit sweeter, not savory. That's what we're going to do. So go ahead and put those flowers and those orange peels in there.
All right, they're in there. They're mixed up.
Yep, mix them up, and you're just going to drop them in that jar.
Hibiscus.
Okay.
Just in the jar.
Right? Yeah, put them right in the jar.
We're going to muddle it or something.
No, don't need to muddle them up. So we're just extracting flavor, and then honestly, we could probably put a few more flowers in there. And that I'm going to go grab the flowers.
Alrighty.
And get them.
These are very freshly zested. Just peeled them myself a moment ago. A couple of peppercorn or black pepper peppercorns. All right, the tricks up our sleeves.
All right, now you're going to the flowers are there. When you dry your flowers out, you want to keep the stamens in there because there's pollen in there, and pollen is flavor.
Okay.
And that you get your color out of these
petals.
Out of the petals, because you can see that purple color. You're going to extract some of that purple color. That you want the orange peels and that for sweetness and a depth of flavor, and to add a bittering agent to them. You want to leave just a little bit of that rind on there.
Yeah.
Now, if you like something really bitter, like you say you're really into like the Campari, like you like that bitter flavor, you can put more orange rind, or you just put the whole peel in there. Yeah, you can put the whole peel in there. I just want the aromatics out of it. I want the hibiscus flavor and color to shine with the aromatics of the orange. Right. So we got that, and then the peppercorns just take that edge off that sweetness a little bit. So, all right, now we have, like I said, a good, clean, minimum 100 proof vodka. Go ahead and pour that in there.
How high?
All the way up, like not to just up to the neck.
Yeah. There.
So you got to leave some room for it to shake around a little bit. And I give it a little bit more. You can just take the whole bottle on there. That's fine. Yeah, it took a whole fifth. So, because a quart is a liter and a liter bit more. Mm-hmm. So, get in here, close that up. All right, we're gonna get that really good shake right off. And honestly, once I get this first shake in here, yes, I do use my cocktail technique.
I see that. Yeah.
You're already going to see a color change.
Episode. Oh yeah, that's quick.
You're already going to see a color change because it's pulling that in there. Yeah. And that pulling all those eggs. By the end of this, when we're done,
such a volatile compound. It's already.
When we're done with these flowers, they are going to be gray. And gross looking. It's actually going to look really bad in the jar. Yeah. When it's done extracting, this is going to take about 2 weeks probably. Okay. And that for us to get this to where I want it. Mm-hmm. Now, when I'm making my hibiscus syrup, I don't do this. What I do is I take the flowers and I make a tea. Out of the flowers, and then I take that tea, strain the flowers out.
Just grind it up, cheesecloth.
No, I don't even grind them. I just put the whole flowers. Just put the whole flowers in the pot with the water. Bring it up to a boil. Let it boil for about 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah. And then let it cool off, steeping in there. Mm-hmm. And then I strain the flowers out just to receive. And then I get all that water come through, and then I make my syrup. Okay. That becomes my water for my simple syrup 1-to-1 ratio. Okay. And so you get the hibiscus flavor. You don't cut any of it. And then when we're done, what I'm going to do to sweeten this, instead of using simple syrup like you would for most other cocktails, I'm going to use hibiscus syrup. Okay. And that to make the liqueur just intensifies
variation on the
and it intensifies that hibiscus flavor. Yeah. And so you're not sacrificing any flavor at all, and you're good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit for a couple weeks. We're going to come back, put it back in, and then you'll see exactly how everything changed, and we'll go from there. Good. So until next time, we're going to see you guys around. We're going to bring you some more episodes on bitters and some alcohols that are like what?
Gimmicky, I would say. Like how your Oceans is in a barge. We don't have Oceans, but along that line.
Yeah, we got stuff like that. So we're going to bring you some more of those episodes. Like, share, and subscribe. That helps us out quite a bit. Also, if you guys like the theme music, check out Tim's session on Facebook. Look for where he's playing around the St. Louis area. Great artist. Maybe have him in sometime to do a couple of things. Yeah. Do that. And until next time, welcome to Below Decks from the cargo hold.
Doing my best in town, on my own feet now. Don't go, dinner's done. Don't matter, I'm having fun. I'm chasing the setting sun. It's a chain reaction, got it by my feet. It's the rubber rubbing up against the concrete. The wind begins to blow harder as I start to race. Everything on keys and greasy. It put a smile on my face. Finding equilibrium, left to right. The first time I felt this way in all of my life. Leave it up to balance the steering, where my mind is still unclear. All the thoughts in my head, I can still remember what you say. Look out, I'm gonna kill you dead. Finding equilibrium, moving left to right. The first time I all becoming clear. What was once far away is now near. I can't believe all the hours we spent on the multicolored can. I can tell you really when. Every color of the spectrum, well, it was so nice. Change the shade or so you say. Take my advice. Found equilibrium, left at